Stress and anxiety are two words that no one ever wants to hear, but luckily there are steps that we can take to reduce both, and journaling is one of them. Dr. Allyson Coffin is our wellness expert and our local chiropractor, and she's here to talk to us about the impacts of journaling on our brains. So where should we start?
So when we think of journaling, it's just an extra thing that we get to do as opposed to just thinking about stuff in our mind, because sometimes that makes us crazy.
Yes.
So when we do pick up something to write on, and I'm talking like writing, not typing on a computer, it activates many areas of our brain, and I just so happen to bring a brain.
Thank you so much. I love when we can do a show and tell.
Okay, so here's our brain. So when we start journaling, we use our frontal cortex, which is right here.
Yep.
That's our planning and our decision-making portion of our brain.
Important.
When we are plan something and make a decision, usually our stress and anxiety decreases 50% because you know what's going to happen. When you know what's going to happen, you don't have that stress and anxiety surrounding it. Another part of our brain that's activated when we start journaling is our hippocampus. It's on the bottom of our brain. So I'm just going to take these little nuggets right out of here. It's on this part of your brain. It's like a little horseshoe in through here. And that part of our brain is our storyteller. It's how we keep our long-term memories in our brain.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that we have access to our long-term memories, because many of us, when we get older or fear of aging, we think like, oh, I'm going to forget stuff, or and no, it's not going to prevent dementia, but it's going to help you exercise your brain, and it's going to make you feel better about what's going on internally in your body. So that's something big. Then another area of your brain that's activated when you're journaling is your motor area. That's like this top of your brain. Think of like a headband on the top of your brain.
Okay.
And it's so you activate your motor area when you do sports or when you walk or any of those things. When you're writing, you activate your motor area very intensely and precisely. So when you pick up that pen, you're writing something down. But when you think of yourself as like a 2-year-old, you don't know how to write your name, right? And so think of all those firing connections that have been made in your brain since you were 2 to now. And then if you practice over and over and over again, you'll keep using those motor areas of your brain, and you'll have that sharp memory and sharp sense in your motor area of your brain.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, and then the fourth area of your brain is your caudate nucleus. It's deep in here. I'll take this apart here a little.
Oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Our brain's fun. So it's right on the side. And through here, the caudate nucleus is your practice center when things become automatic for you. So usually every morning everybody brushes their teeth, but they don't think, I should brush my teeth. You just do it because it's an automatic thing. And once you journal more and more and more, you'll activate your caudate nucleus, and it will become an ingrained thing that you do every single day. Many people stretch as soon as they wake up. Maybe people are going to start journaling as soon as they wake up and activate many centers of their brain, as opposed to just thinking about the tasks of the day.
Right, right. I know that journaling is something that I've definitely tried to be doing more and more, just to do a nice little brain dump at the end of the day, get it all out. And you were saying to me too that this is kind of like a way to exercise your brain.
Yeah, so if you think of your brain as like a huge thing that controls your whole self.
Yes.
So just that whole thing. So when you exercise your brain and do the journaling, it's going to make your brain stronger. So we think if you don't use it, you lose it with your muscles. Like if you don't exercise, you just turn into a blob. And if you don't use your brain is going to turn into mush too. So we need to exercise our brain, keep ourselves sharp, and it makes us feel better about our whole selves when we do those things.
Right, and it's something that we don't want to just talk about, think about.
Do it.
Actually do it.
Yes.
Do you have any tips for people who are like, I can't commit to it? Like,
yes.
How do you do that?
So things that are great is like buy a journal that you think is pretty.
Of course.
Yes. Get like one of those pens that's smooth when you write, if you like how that feels.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean? And
I do.
And you're like, oh, I like this.
Yes.
Right? Some people don't write their journal in word form, they'll draw it. So it's like an artistic journal, and that's just as helpful and actually activates more areas of your brain.
I didn't even think about that. The drawing piece. That's great. All right, so all kinds of tips and learning more about why journaling is so important for our brains to keep them healthy. Thanks so much, Allyson, for being here again with us. We're going to have all of these tips on our website for you. Stay with us. 207 is back right after this.